Hey everybody, and welcome to a new video on E.Stampley art. In this particular video, we are going to look at March and April's Copic colors. I figured I would combine these two into one full illustration. So here you can see I'm swatching out March's colors and seeing how they overlay on one another. And then I do the same thing with April's three colors. So you can see like the palette that I'm going to be working with for this particular illustration. So here's a little thumbnail of what I'm thinking, and also a couple sketches of some hand positions, maybe even some nail art, which I don't really get to. And also at the bottom, I did like a little color swatch thumbnail to kind of figure out how I wanted the colors to lay in the final piece. So my basic premise for this illustration, I thought of two twin sisters kind of mirroring each other in their pose. One's kind of on the bad side and one's kind of on the good side, and dressing them stereotypically kind of good and bad. One ending up with like tattoos, and one's kind of dressed almost kind of like a princess. But yeah, I thought it'd be really fun to do that kind of as they're mirroring each other across the page, wearing two completely different outfits. It was kind of hard trying to mirror these two characters, trying to get like their hands kind of in the same place, their heads tilted kind of the same way, their positions to be mirroring each other. It proved to be a little bit difficult. I had to do a lot of guidelines and different things on the page to kind of get that kind of mirrored effect. Okay, so I'm inking this illustration with a Tombow brush pen. It has a brush nib on one side and kind of like a fine tip bullet nib on the other. It's a really nice pen. It went on the page really well. I even tested it, swatched it kind of with the Copic markers to make sure that it didn't bleed with the Copics, so it worked really well with that. However, it proved difficult a little bit later, but I'll get to that. But as far as working with the Copics, it worked really well. It went on the particular paper in my sketchbook really nicely. You can get a good variation of line. I really enjoyed working with it. So now I'm just using the Copic colors, just kind of blocking out the colors in their particular sections that they're supposed to go in. And then I'm gonna go back in using still the same set of 6 Copics that I'm using, and overlaying them to get like some shadows and some different effects. Adding a little bit of makeup on the two characters, a little bit of lipstick, a little bit of eyeshadow. On the quote-unquote bad character, I used pink and one of the lighter blues to kind of get a purple, dark, smoky effect for her makeup, which I really liked. Okay, so for the background, I'm going to use these Derwent metallic pencils, color pencils, which are also water-soluble. I was trying to figure out what to do with the background, and I wanted like a metallic, so I figured I'd use these pencils since I haven't used them much. I did silver on one side and gold on the other. Before I started adding the water, I did test them with the black Tombow marker, and water and the Tombow marker do not mix. So I had to be very careful to not touch any of the outlines of the characters. So that's what created the white outline that I have around the characters that I wasn't originally planning on doing, but ended up doing it due to not wanting to smudge the finished lines. But in the end, I'm kind of happy with how it turned out. So I'm using water to kind of blend the pencils down, and it actually blends really well. It's a little streaky, but I think that has to do more with the paper, not the product itself. It actually does really well of blending out the lines for the pencils, where I know sometimes people have issues with that, especially with watercolor pencils, but it blended out the pencil lines really well. You really just see the kind of like brush strokes and everything. That's probably more on my end than the paper than anything. I'll have to try them out on some actual watercolor paper to see how well I can maybe not have the brush strokes and brush streaks and stuff going on. So in the end, I did use a gel pen, white gel pen, to put the white outline around the characters, did a couple little touch-ups with the Tombow marker. But yeah, I really liked how these two girls turned out. It turned out really well. I'm very happy with it. As always, I'd like to thank you for watching this video. Feel free to give it a thumbs up down below. Any comments you wish to leave, go right ahead. If you have any ideas for future videos you'd like to see on this channel, I'd greatly appreciate them. Also, you can subscribe down below to learn about new videos when they come out on the channel, and it just supports me and this channel to keep going. As well as you can also follow me on Twitter at E.Stampley Art, and also now on Instagram, also at E.Stampley Art. And again, thank you for watching this video, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!